Let me just tell you how amazing our community of traders are. Check this out. We had someone who mentioned they will pay for one of your subscriptions for this upcoming month. That's right. Someone at Real Life Trading is so generous, so loving, so kind that they want to pay for someone's subscription out there in the world. How amazing is that? Now, here's the deal. It's only for 1 month so far, and this has happened before. This gentleman has done this exact thing before, and this is not the only person. In fact, we've had many traders in the past offer to pay for other people's subscriptions to be a part of Real Life Trading. How insanely amazing is that? Here's what you have to do. If you want to be entered into the opportunity to have your month, for the entire month of August, paid for by an entirely other human being other than yourself, get a Real Life Trading hat or t-shirt. Boom, boom, boom. That RL logo. And give me some type of social media love. So the first person to post on social media wearing RLT swag who does not currently have an RLT subscription, I will reach out to that person and I will connect with them and get you all set up and hooked up. So the truth is, if you have an RL shirt, go on Twitter, go on Instagram, go on Facebook, go on StockTwits, go on any other social media platform that you can think of, LinkedIn. And if you post that with the hashtag RLT is me, all right? RLT is me. You post a shirt, you don't have a subscription. First one to do it gets it. I'll be reaching out to you. Let's dive into some charts. Popping in here today. All right, here we go. Let's go check out some charts, see what's gapping, see what's ready to talk about, and let's do this. That's right, RLT is me. Someone's getting a subscription paid for the month of August by another real life trader. How incredible is that? Let's dive in and check out what Beyond Meat is doing after hours right now on earnings. And right now, not that much, actually, which is kind of cool. This one, a lot of people were expecting a big move. I expected a move of some magnitude, but this presently is not moving that strongly. So after hours right now, we're only up 4 or 5%. We'll see how it opens, but it seems on a move like this that it really won't be a dramatic gap, which is actually incredible for option sellers like boing, 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 boing. Anyone who did this particular trade, and actually quite good too if anyone just took a small bullish position on the pullback of today's candle. Really not a massively shocking price for Beyond Meat to pull back and bounce, you know, bouncing off the previous all-time high, pulling into the 10 EMA. So no gap right now on Beyond Meat is going to soak up a lot of volatility. So if you sold the volatility going into earnings, congratulations. And if you bought it, sorry. This is one that I did not do a straddle or strangle on. Speaking of, here's Pinterest. This is one that I've been planning for a while, and I really like this consolidation. I do like this company longer term. Both Ashley and myself are in this one, and a lot of people looking at a straddle and or strangle on Pinterest. So my good buddy Austin and a few other traders are looking at Pinterest pretty closely. We'll see what it does and how it gaps, if anything at all. Again, maybe it will and maybe it won't, but Pinterest could be a pretty cool little straddle or strangle that one could consider playing around the $27 at the money area with this really nice little triangle position on Pinterest. Here's Apple running up into earnings. AAPL closed up big today. Strong close, strong volume. My analysis on Apple is pretty simple. If Apple gaps up on earnings, which I expect it to, it probably will fade. So a gap up on earnings would be very, very strong. It probably gap up, most likely pull back to some magnitude. And then realistically from there, ladies and gentlemen, I truly don't know. A gap above 217 on earnings would be so bullish. Whatever retracement we get would probably get bought, and long term we could be at $300 on Apple before at this time next year. I mean, this would just be an astronomically bullish gap if we get out of this triangle on earnings and retest it. We'll see. I mean, sure, Apple could gap down and surprise the people. I think that'd be fun. Actually, I would like that. I'd like a pullback on Apple into some lows. So a gap down would be bearish. People would definitely be trapped. And if Apple gap down, I'd probably look for it to fade up on the day of earnings. So it'd probably gap down, look something like this, and then almost without question would roll over into these supports and kind of start bouncing around and just chopping around the 180-ish zone longer term. We will see, but I like the triangle. Apple, going to be a fun one on Tuesday. For all those traders who subscribe to Real Life Trading, we'll all be trading that one together. Speaking of trading together, Tesla had a beautiful pop out today. We talked about during Friday's afternoon trading room, which everyone got access to. If we take out the high of this candle, then let's go bullish. I did look at and kept an eye on Tesla to go bearish at one point during the day, but it just never broke down, held strong, and you got some really good bounces over here. And a lot of traders, as you know, in some put sales on Tesla. Scott McKay with his protective put, that's gone. Put sale down here is going to be pretty much worthless. And these all the way down here at 100, they do have some premium still on them, but we'll be buying those back before very long. Actually, most likely the next 2-3 days or so. Morningstar reversal on Tesla could easily fill this gap. Strong bullish trend. Gap down, buy low, sell high on Tesla. And we had a lot of other trades out there today. PayPal was the one that we all played officially, and one small one. No one absolutely just robbed the bank on PayPal, but we did have a decent little win on this guy. You had a really beautiful gap down, bearish gap and go on this day, inside candle, which was a high wave candle, and then a nice gap down today. And we just played it off of this 5-minute high wave candle. Nothing special, nothing crazy, nothing intense or wild, but a few people. There's your high wave, bullish candle, tons of volume. And once we broke below that level, we shorted it, and that was pretty much it. So depending on how you played it, there's a few people made an R, 0.1R, 0.2R, 0.3R, kind of across the board. Small win, but nice little bearish momentum on PayPal. And on the daily chart over here, your 100 simple moving average is pretty close. So you could actually keep an eye on that to kind of throw in some type of lower shadow and potentially bounce off that price, but we will see. I don't expect its counterpart, Square, to gap that much on earnings, but earnings is right around the corner on Square. Few traders have some put sales on this one, and all I can say is if for some reason Square gaps above 83.45 on earnings, to the moon, and the moon would be about $100. However, if it doesn't, it's just going to consolidate, hang out, most likely chop around and eventually grind higher. But worst case scenario, we could trade down to here and bounce again. Usually Square doesn't gap that much on earnings, so we'll just kind of have to wait and see. But we'll find out how Square accumulates, and a gap above this resistance on earnings would be amazing. There's a few people in a straddle or strangle on TRXE TREX company, and right now she's gapping up to 72.60. So we'll see how it opens, but this is actually a pretty decent gap on TREX. Second quarter reports, earnings are out, strong gap and go. We'll see what it does on earnings, but if you played a straddle or strangle on this one, this is a gap and go, and you still have obviously 3 days left in the week. This thing could, well, I say 3 days. You have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 days left in the week. At open, it could get a little bit of a thrust higher, and that could become a profitable endeavor. So we'll see what TREX does. And then Shopify also reporting earnings this week. SHOP had a little bit of a bearish play out there today. For the most part, down 5%. Little bit of a potential, super small head and shoulders pattern. I'm not saying Shopify is going to zero by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying that depending on how earnings plays out, if it gaps up, obviously that would be bullish. And if it gaps down, depending on where it opens, people will most likely buy that dip on Shopify, but time will tell. Not entirely sure at the present moment. right now. And Pfizer, ticker symbol PFE. Pfizer was a cool little one to fade. A few people played Pfizer with some bullish trades. Didn't make colossal take-home money, but everyone who played it to some degree either lost small or won small. This was a one that we were looking at fading down around this area and getting out around here. But this thing really did tank after this triangle pattern kind of broke down and just slipped and fell out of bed. Ticker symbol PFE. Gap down, bearish gap and go on the daily chart. Pfizer, probably could go a little bit lower, but eventually you'd look to most likely buy the dip on that one. A lot of good stuff out there today, folks. I hope you all enjoyed the free week. It is the last one until January of 2020. So between now and then, folks, keep me posted if you have any questions. Thank you for being a part of Real Life Trading. And until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. Bye.